Hello and welcome to this Virgo inspired reading for July 2025. I work with the symbolism of the tarot and the symbolism of Western astrology to uncover deeper layers of consciousness, to maybe find some inspiration for a situation that we're in, to find a new perspective. I am not a fortune teller. I merely see the cards as a creative tool for self-reflection. So let's see what wants to come out and what we want to talk about, or what the cards want to talk about. Yeah, we have Cancer season right now, but you can watch this video anytime, and there's already something happening. The Prince of Swords, and he wants to go into the future, like forward, and I like that. And that is very much forward thinking. The Prince of Swords is the creative thinker, is the brainstormer. He has all the ideas. He has too many ideas sometimes, and they are represented by these little versions of himself carrying the chariot. And he is having his sword up high, ready to cut off all the ideas that lead him into the wrong direction. So he's a very creative thinker. He can sometimes get a little bit caught up in too many ideas at the same time, not really sticking with something, but at the same time he is really coming up with so many ideas, so many solutions, so many problems maybe also. But in general, I think this is a card that leads us to the moment and to the situation where we really want to be ready to cut off all the ideas, all the ways of thinking that stand in our way to move straight forward. So yeah, I love that. This is also air energy, double air. So it is also connected to Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. We're coming out of, the Eight of Swords. We have a lot of movement, a lot of fast movement here, a lot of things happening maybe at the same time. Maybe we had a moment where we felt like the electricity of the moment. This card is also called swiftness. So we might come out of a quite eventful time, or bring a lot of things that happened in our current situation. And the wands can really represent conversation with people, communication with people that is very inspiring or very fast or very electric. This can also, of course, represent some sort of attraction towards people, but also it is about bringing out our own ideas and sharing our own ideas and being very swift and quick and open about it and letting things really speed up. It's a very, very beautiful card. I love that very much. And now let's see where we are in the current. What is connecting these two future and past energies in the now? Oh, love it. The Knight of Discs, and there we do have an Earth card, which is also Virgo element, not necessarily a Virgo card though, but it is the Knight of the Earth element. So he is very grounded, stable, secure in the moment. He knows how to establish resources. He did establish resources. Right now he is really looking what else can he do. It seems like you've come out of maybe a very fruitful and fast and quick period of manifestation. I want to say maybe a lot of things happened. We brought a lot of things into the material world, maybe health, maybe maybe a job went well, maybe some projects finished up faster than we thought, and now we are kind of in a moment of privilege, and the Knight of Discs is definitely a privileged knight, where we can really think and brainstorm about what's next to come. And when we do that from a place of stability and security, I mean, that is a very, very beautiful thing. So with the Knight of Discs, we also have the harvest, or waiting for the harvest to come in. We've done everything we can, and now we're just really waiting for the harvest, or we've already harvested and are now in a very secure and healthy spot where we kind of look like at what we've created. And he's also, as you can see, kind of the agricultural farmer type knight who is really overlooking the land and looking at the sun go down and looking at what's grown, what's not. And it's a very, very beautiful nature connected card as well. So the horse is also tired or relaxed. I mean, for horse people, it doesn't necessarily mean this horse is tired. Horse people know this can just be a relaxed, very calm, very grounded horse, which just knows how to chill because it probably has a lot of work to do. So yeah, I love that. How he has his, or she has their head down, and kind of want to see what comes up. Oh, nice, the Virgo card. Welcome to the art of tarot. Sun in Virgo, prudence is what this card is called. It's the 8 of discs, and this is really about, I think, I mean, I know this is about really putting your focus to what's really important when it comes to work, when it comes to physical work, when it comes to conscientiousness. It is a card where we learn how to focus, how to be disciplined, and how to be doing the things that we need to do, not necessarily the things that we want to do, or doing all the things. You know, this is not a card of working all the time. This is a card of working smarter, not harder. Actually, it's a very, that's why it's Sun in Virgo, because we have a plan and we know how to implement it, and we know how to put our focus into the things that are really, really important at this time. So this is seems like a lot about personal projects or work-related stuff with all these discs energies, with these ideas and with these fast movement. This is also kind of a, in my opinion, a business card, the 8 of Wands, when it comes to really out of the box ideas or over the top ideas, because this is Sagittarius and Mercury. So we might think a little more on a higher level, on a philosophical level, on a spiritual level, how to find new little ways or interesting or creative ways of moving forward. Maybe this can also be about concentration, having the eyes on the prize, because this Knight of Discs is so much looking at these 8 of Discs, so that makes a lot of sense to me as well. And in between, in the middle, we do have this Prince of Swords. We can get distracted by our ideas or by our thinking. This can most definitely be also the Prince of Swords, who is distracting us, pulling us into directions, kind of wasting our time when we overthink or when we think too much. We have all the ideas at the same time. So this is maybe something that we are mastering right now, that we're learning to really bring back the focus, set back the focus to what's really important. We want to maybe think about meditation. That's just a very personal thing that I say. There is not necessarily a meditation card for me here, although the Knight of Discs could be going into nature, spending time in nature, that type of meditation, but that could just be very helpful and beneficial at this time, which I think could be beneficial all the time. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Does anybody know this TikToker with the guitar? He is really fun. I forget his name. People send him problems about relationships mostly, and he has a guitar and this studio full of weird paintings that are very that he makes himself, and that are a little bit psychedelic, and it's just faces, like comic book type faces, but very outsider art type of thing. Anyway, it's just something that comes to my mind, and maybe it resonates with some of you. Let's look at relationships. This could be any relationship, doesn't have to be romantic, of course, but you can think of a specific person if you want to, but it can also just be energies that come towards you at this time, or that you're sensing or feeling or having difficulties with. Ooh, the High Priestess, very intuitive people coming towards you. Maybe you're dealing with people who are not very outspoken these days. This could be the High Priestess in a relationship where they're just sensing their way through, not so much really communicating, talking. It could be a Pisces person, or people who are very spiritual. the High Priestess in relationships, when it's on the other side, it's sometimes you will feel their intentions. Don't really pay too much attention to what they say. I mean, that's a slippery slope that I'm saying that, because sometimes we read so much into the behavior of people that is not there. But if you are as grounded as the cards suggest right now, you will sense the energy from a person. You might even be having the feeling that somebody is communicating with you telepathically, or that you're telepathically connected to somebody. Ooh, Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, that's wow. Okay, this might be, you know, let's go a little deeper. And that's not necessarily a Virgo thing to discuss when it comes to maybe non-physical connection, but this can also just be the very spiritual people sent to you by the universe right now. And it could even be that you're connecting with higher beings, or you're connecting through other people with higher beings, if you know what I mean. Because the Wheel of Fortune really brings us growth, ascension in relationships, luck also, and it might now be quite beneficial for us and good for our growth and for our development to connect to spiritual people who are tapped into more outer worldly ideas. Because I feel like in your position right now, we are very, very much connected to the physical. This is very much connected, of course, to Earth element with the discs and the Knight of Discs. So we might want to have people help us sense deeper. And this is very much here for our growth. This is really nice. I love this. The High Priestess is kind of a Virgin card. That's how it's somehow connected to Virgo, but it's not necessarily a Virgo card. But it's also about fruitfulness, about potential, about having, you know, like a fruitful soil to grow things on, which is also Virgo. Ooh, Three of Swords. Huh. Five of Wands. I don't know if that will definitely not resonate with everybody, but let's look at the situation where somebody you're not connected to anymore hurt you, or you felt hurt, or vice versa. There's some heartbreak over a situation. There is some sorrow over a situation. And you might even be sensing, that is also very, very specific, but it's just coming to my mind. You might also be sensing energies from maybe past ones that trigger pain. And they want to connect through the pain and help you work through it. There might be conflict with past ones that is coming up at this time, because we have this Five of Wands here, and that is some sort of conflict in will. And I think this might even also be related to your personal development here, with all these ideas in our heads pulling us into different directions, having a hard time to focus on what's really important. With the Six of Swords, though, we have this really wonderful card of learning and going out of the comfort zone when it's about learning also, because the Six of Swords is a card of science, which is really, when you look deeper into the symbolism and into the card, the meaning of the card, it is about, because people say in the Rider-Waite deck, yeah, it's about going to the calmer waters, leaving the rough waters, but it is so much more than that, because it is really leaving an environment that we know everything about, and they're on a boat. They're going above the emotions. They're on a boat. They've industrialized or they made it very efficient, this family that is sitting in the boat in the right-of-way deck. I wish I could show you right now, but anyway, look it up. They're driving this boat from a little bit more lively waters or stormy, I don't see them as stormy, into calmer waters. And they are going to a new place. And what they've learned from the waters where they're at right now, they've seen everything and they're moving on. But they're moving on in their mind, because the swords are very much about the mind. So this is really what science is all about, and exploring and learning in new territories. That's where science also goes, and that's why this card is called in the Crowley deck Science. In this card, it's in this deck, it's called Earned Success, which I think is very, very fascinating as well. So we are learning a lot, I think, in relationships right now on a spiritual level, and how to tap into eventual trigger points and hurts. And we don't need to, I mean, we might need to talk things out, but I think it's just, things are just coming up at this point. With the swords, we always want to kind of talk, but we can also express our sorrow with a person who is maybe tuned into deeper and can help transform on a different level. And if that is a being or an entity or an energy that is not physical in your physical reality, that's cool too, you know, whatever helps you learn more about how to get this in check. Because the sorrow sometimes is like how to heal the Three of Swords. You don't necessarily need to heal it. You need to just learn how to handle it. Sorrow is part of our existence, and we get better at we do get better at handling it and at reacting to it and to manage it when it comes up. So yeah, one more. Restlessness. I thought so. There might be some anxious energy going on right now. Going into nature is probably the best advice that I can give, and I'm having a lot of number confirmations on my little screen here that I have, so I'm not gonna bore you with all of them, but there's a lot of, for me, confirmation like yes, you're hitting the point. This is Mercury in Aries. That's a lot of drive of the mind also, and at the same time a lot of fire. So we want to maybe dance. I don't know. Take a dance lesson, because that Mercury looks like he's dancing to me. Maybe you want to dance with the gods. That's also fun. In your mind. Why not? Convention. Well, no, we want to stay a little more conventional, I suppose. Venus in Capricorn. Find the beauty in the mundane, I want to say. Find the beauty in the strife. Find the beauty in the work. That's all the Capricorn and Venus type of energy. You know, how the great minds, and this is kind of working, this Prince of Swords is working himself towards being a great mind. How they learned how to discipline their mind to make great things happen. This is, convention sounds so boring, but in convention there is a lot of greatness, because there's a lot of stability and a lot of fundamental, and please don't take the word out of context, truths in convention. And I'm not at all a conventional person. I mean, not at all, probably a little bit, but like everybody. But the convention teaches us how to build very solid things. And I feel like that's what's going on here. And again, I have a confirmation with the numbers. So very cool reading. I love this, Virgo. I just want to say, please check out my description box, and please leave me a like, subscribe, a comment. Check out what else I'm doing with my life. I'm a singer, I'm also a musician, and I'm also an artist, so check out my website if you're interested. And also, I don't know, I'm just in a place with my videos where I just cannot find, and I know this is random, and you can click off if you want to. I don't know what to do with the lightning. Please let me know what you think about the light, and maybe you have an opinion, because Virgo opinion would be probably very helpful. So thank you so much, and I hope I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.